Over the volume, and we are live. Week 2, State of the Kingdom.
That's our theme song. There we go. I told you I
Oh,
would have a theme
There we go. I
this
like
week.
it. Record that
Yes.
little beat.
I kind
Yeah,
of
there we
wish.
go.
Yeah, I need to record that independently next time. Be sure you remember exactly what you did, so I can.
Yeah.
Live. Make sure. Uh-oh.
I got you.
And of course, I'm unmuted on YouTube, so I just had it come through on here. So, professional right here is what we are.
Yeah.
All right,
Them
great.
beats are fire.
We'll talk to that studio manager of ours.
We'll start that again. Live week 2. Rod, you want to intro here? Do that again since we're stuffing that first. Oh God.
No, that was completely different.
That was completely different.
Okay, is that the wrong? Yeah. All right, different website.
Oh man.
What's up?
All right.
Welcome.
Week
2, like you said, State of the Kingdom, week 2 of the 2023 NFL season. How we feeling?
Much better this week.
Yeah, honestly. We're looking good now, aren't we? We're living the dream. Best team undefeated since week 1. I think it's pretty safe to say. That's why I threw it in the title there. I think the important thing is we are undefeated since week 1. So, that's what we got to focus on here.
Right. If your team isn't 1-1, I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cincy.
I didn't even. I love that I didn't even have to delete that line in my best of the rest, NFL update.
Exactly.
It's like I can just leave on there.
I'm just going to carry this over from week to week. No big deal.
I really hope I'm able to. Yeah. I mean, shoot. I will talk about it more though when we get there.
Yeah, we won't go on a tangent now.
We'll do the tangent later. I mean, we can't be interrupting the most important thing that everyone tunes into State of the Kingdom for: positive yards.
Yes, but before we start, I just got to remember to keep saying this beginning. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, please.
And subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We will remind you again at the end of the show. But yes, it is positive yards, people. And Bill, you should go first because I got to think.
I'll go first. All right. So honestly, my positive yards, I'm, finally getting back into the gym a little bit more. I've been hitting it pretty consistently the past, that little bit of time, finally getting that self-improvement on. We'll see, hopefully we continue to stick it, but
so that's where my motivation went.
Yeah. I stole it.
Took it, of me.
Yanked it right out from underneath you. Yeah.
Like the Monstars at Space Jam.
Absolutely. The nice thing is like work-wise, so I've taken on a new role over the past like month and change, and I'm kind of in that spot where like I don't have that many responsibilities just yet. So like what I can do instead of like having to wait until the end of the workday to work out, I just take like an hour break, for quasi lunch / just go lift some weights, and it's kind of nice.
Love that.
So
nice.
Be able to hit it during the day, motivate myself that way. I'm sure the second my workday gets busy, I'll go back to not doing it. But hey, we'll see if we can build that habit now.
You're going to find a new normal, and I apologize for the band in the background.
And I just assume you're out there, coaching band or something. Is that it? The additional new job on top of your teaching and all the other.
Just walking right by their practice. That's all.
Just the other billion things you're doing over there. That's my positive yards. The nice thing too is like what gets me going is being able to track successfully and all that good stuff. And I downloaded an app called Heavy that I use, and it's.
Oh, you use Heavy?
I use Heavy. Yeah,
I use Heavy. Yes.
Okay.
I use Heavy for my clients.
I love it.
Do you
it's
really?
Awesome.
I've not even heard of this.
It's it's HEVY. It's fantastic. It's probably the best like weightlifting tracking app I've utilized.
Nice. It's up there.
It's up there. For free, I should say. Yeah, for free.
It's definitely free, and yeah, sorry to cut. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut in, but yeah, I definitely use that one too for my clients. I think it has some limitations, but out of all the ones that are out there right now, I would agree with you. It's definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah. That's it's what I
Yeah,
like about
absolutely.
it, that's a little bit of the social aspect of it, so
Yeah,
it's kind of nice there. It embraces that a little bit better than any ones I've seen, and the free aspect of it's what's nice, the capabilities it gives you there versus like all the other ones where there are better apps. I just feel like you got to pay for them. So yeah, I've had some fun with it.
free is always
Proud
better.
of you,
Free is
Billy.
always better.
Yeah. I also got a new job and
Hey.
less time to work out, so I've been trying to figure that
Ooh,
out.
do share. Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
this is is this is the new job part of your positive yards or just
yeah. I'll
nah?
put it part of the positive. No, no, I'll
Okay,
definitely
okay.
put it part of the positive yards. It's just been a different schedule, so I'm just getting used to the new schedule. So this last week, I haven't really been able to get into the gym as much as that I would like to, but still getting there when I can. Building my client base, like I said, with using like the app heavy and certain different avenues for that. So yeah, I got things going. What was my positive yards going to be? I found a new
Yes.
spot to watch the games, so that's
Ooh,
been
okay.
fun.
Oh, is it this the
Like
place you were talking about before week one?
it might have been, yeah. I know I probably mentioned it before. There's like this place out near me that has like a big screen outdoors. Like it's got a bunch of little little spots. There's like a barbecue spot, a pizza spot, Mexican food. They got a slider bar, and of course they've got ice cream, and then of course regular bars. Um,
Wait, did you say slider bar as in like
like sliders,
burgers?
like little burgers. Yeah,
Oh, that sounds
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. But they also show the football games on the big screen. Now, on like the weekend, it's kind of not ideal because it's only going to show you probably one game. But for like a Monday night game, I know it was a double header, right? But I would say even still for like last night, Monday night game, went out there and watched the Monday night game. While we have this nice weather, it's like the perfect spot to like just there's these lawn chairs right up front. They show the game. And we're just out there hanging, like eating some food and just watching what was mostly mediocre football, but I'm keeping an eye on this spot for when Kansas City plays. Hopefully that'll be a good spot for us to go check out the Chiefs.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, it's always nice to find little places like that.
Nice.
All right,
Now,
Yeah,
hold
those are
what are
like
on. Finding
yours?
these places, that's awesome. I'm excited. But who do you get to watch the games with? Or
uh,
do you like going and then meeting up with Chiefs fans?
meeting up with Chiefs fan. No, like I man, it's really not. There's not too many of us out here outside of. I mean, there. Okay, so let me take that back. We exist. But it's I don't go there for like Arrowhead atmosphere, right? There's other we actually
Uh-huh.
do have other bars in this area that I would go to for that. Like I'd go everybody knows Wizards. Wizards is the main one out here in Dallas that most Chiefs fans go to. And then there's also one called Arrowhead Bar and Grill, which is also a KU bar. So that's a good little spot, a little bit closer to me to go watch the games. But you know, sometimes it's not really about that for me. I just kinda like going where like kind of atmosphere a little bit more, like kind of the look, the style, the food. That's more what I'm interested in. Like, and I kind of like being kind of sticking out a little bit. It'll be in a sea of navy blue and silver. I like rocking my red jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So
You like sticking out. Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. But yeah. Last night I was hanging out with some Saints fans because that's who was playing. It was Saints and Panthers. So we were checking that pretty much awful game.
And I tried to
Yeah,
watch some of that game, and it didn't happen.
right.
I
The
was.
game itself Yeah, the game itself
We're
was
trying to
was
keep it
terrible.
positive yards here, y'all. Come
Yeah,
on, come
no,
on.
the game. I was just saying the game itself. The game was bad. The atmosphere was great. That's what I'll say. Like just hanging out,
Okay.
sipping on. I was drinking a seltzer. Just out, sitting on a little lawn chair watching some football. Like,
Wait a
I can't,
minute.
can't
I'm
get mad
pretty
at
sure
that.
it was Fireball, liar.
No, I still have Fireball. I mean, last night. Yeah, last night I had a seltzer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Trust me. No, I've had this Fireball since Christmas last year. I've been actually trying to get rid of it.
That's a little bit
So,
too long, Bill. That's a little too long.
it's frozen. It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
But,
Make it nice and cold.
but yeah, that's mine. That's mine. Little update. Got to check out some more football. I'll just real quick. I know we'll probably dig into that game a little bit later, but at the start of the night, I said I will take NFL. I will take double headers over Thursday night football any night of the week. Right? I will take
Agreed.
doubleheader
Yes.
Monday night football over Thursday night football. That's before those games started, though. Then I was like, these are like 2 Thursday night football games put together.
No,
You know?
you are not wrong. Yeah. Man, rough.
Yeah, the second one was a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, well, barring the Chubb injury aside, but
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
wasn't great. Wasn't great.
Oof.
All right,
Yeah.
Hung, have we delayed long enough for you to come up with yours? Are you good to go now?
Kind of, it's like we're sitting at a restaurant ordering food, and I still get to me last, and I still don't know what.
Still not ready. Yeah.
So I think I'm grateful for all of it, but especially grateful positive yards for our Chiefs win this last week. I'm like super
Yeah.
pumped about that, and I think that was a highlight. Still blood pressure all over the place watching the game as it unfolded, of course, but just grateful that we got to have that.
Yeah. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the game.
Dive straight in.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Chiefs 17, Jaguars 9. I mean, I think every single one of us predicted over 30 points for the Chiefs at the least.
Yeah.
And the Jags too, I think.
Yeah.
But
we weren't the only ones.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Like if you listen to the commentators, that everybody was saying how this was expected to be a shootout, and it was not.
And the commentators did the lovely job of berating the daylights out of that point too, I feel. All game long, I feel like that's all I heard was, it's like shocking. What, I think the first quarter ended 0-0 even, or did they score at the very end of that? I can't remember exactly, but
right.
I mean, yeah, just like constantly harping on about, where's the shootout? Man, do you all think it wasn't a shootout because the defenses played well, or was this an offensive letdown?
Defenses definitely played well, but the offense was still a letdown. But I'm sorry, and you were about to say something. I jumped right in there.
No, go ahead.
I was like
go
ready
ahead,
for this.
No, please.
Go ahead.
But I think we ended up with like 370 some yards. Like I feel like for Patrick's numbers, it's not horrible, but it wasn't.
So our total yardage was 399, 298 passing, 101 rushing.
Like if you were just to look at those statistics for those numbers of getting the ball down the field and converting and stuff, you'd be like, oh, that would seem like a decent game until you unfolded the entire picture. So I guess that's part of my reason why I think defense played well, but the offense seemed like it lays down. But there's this caveat of the numbers being pretty decent.
Yeah. No, the defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. And I would actually, they definitely did better than they were supposed to do. It was obviously good to have Chris Jones back, that leadership on that side of the ball, much needed. But even without him, the defense the last 2 weeks have done a pretty solid job. Like I have very little to complain about as far as like them doing what we expect them to do, which is just pretty much. Like last week, they looked more. I would say more of what I expect the Chiefs' defense to look like, which is just the kind of middle row defense, just hold off the other team from scoring enough points to let the offense do their thing. This time, this defense definitely won us this game. They won us this game because, I mean, it was them making things happen. The offense was still kind of sluggish, even with the addition of Kelsey back, even with as this graphic says from Billy, with Tony not dropping passes, going 5 for 5, having most catches on the team.
Man, I'm saying we fed him and it worked. The Reed method continues to hold well. He did not have the most receiving yards, but he did have the most catches, and he caught 100% of the catches that came to him.
But wait, wasn't there one that was dropped though?
No,
I felt like there was one that was dropped.
By Tony, there was not. If there was, then it was the whole attempt was negated by a penalty then, because statistically he did have 5 attempts and 5 catches, or 5 targets, I should say.
I got you.
Yep.
I felt like there
And
was
then-
one, and I was like, oh, he was doing so good.
Right.
Yeah. And then Kelsey back, but a little bit sluggish. 4 for 9, most misses on the team. So,
And
yeah,
also
I'll
the
s-
most targets on the team.
yeah,
5.
which he usually is,
Right. 5 dropped
Yeah, so-
passes, but one of his 4 was a reception for a touchdown, which benefited my fantasy teams quite significantly, I would say.
Congratulations.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I still went
man.
0-2 this week, but that's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that contribution went nowhere. You should
Yeah,
just give that to me. Would
honestly.
you like to make a trade? Wheeling
No.
and dealing on the pod here.
Right.
There you go. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Always be closing. Oh man. Yeah. I think you're right overall though. It was a combination of offense letting us down and the defense playing well. Anytime you hold an NFL team below 10 points, I think is a defensive showcase. I don't think there's any offense in the NFL that's so bad that they can't score 10 points minimum unless defense intervenes, right? Because you could still take the worst offense in the league and put them up against a mid-tier defense, and they'll at the least get 1 touchdown and 1 field goal. I think it's impossible for that to be missed over a 60-minute game period.
Unless it's Thursday night football.
Unless it's Thursday night football.
Rob really wants to. How many slides before we get to Thursday night?
I know we're 2 away.
Monday night. Monday night. Ooh.
So I think it did go really well at the beginning of the game. It's like, yeah, it was great having Chris Jones back, but I mean, who still has just been performing incredibly well for me is Nadi. He's just like week
Very
1.
Naughty.
Week 1 he filled in for Jones. We didn't really miss Jones week 1. I feel this game showed how having Jones in addition to the other players on our defense is incredibly awesome. I personally think going down to number 2 here, our linebackers are showcasing. I feel like the majority of defenses in the NFL now run this like 3-4, where like the 2 of the linebackers in that 4 setup are essentially just pass rushers, and then the other 2 are expected to play that middle linebacker, kind of cover the middle defense. And I really like the fact that we play a 4-3, because I just like that as a defensive scheme way more. And all 3 of our linebackers have just been, stepping up, performing incredibly well. I really think Leo Chanel has the potential to be our best defensive player this year. There's obviously a ton of talent in front of him, in the form of like Nick Bolton and Chris Jones and Snead, and even McDuffie's been showing out. But I feel like Chanel really made some amazing plays. He was a part of that fumble.
He did.
Yeah. And this is only his 2nd year. He's starting to show up, and I'm really excited to see his growth. I'm also a paid actor with this because he's from Wisconsin, so I have to, show off for Kate's family. But
I knew it. Somewhere.
Right. Genuinely, though, yeah, I really like seeing Chanel. But who is your all standout for the defense this week?
Leo did well. I thought George K, and I know that he's he's been playing well, but I felt like this game he really did well several times, getting in there, helping to get in on a couple of the sacks. I think he got credited with like half of them or contributing to them and stuff. And so it was great to hear his name too, because I think we had extremely high expectations for him last season. And I felt like the kingdom felt as though he fell a tiny bit short of that, but we knew that his greatness exists and that it was going to be unleashed.
He had 1 tackle, 3 assisted tackles, and 1.5 sacks.
Yeah. There we go.
Statistically, he outperformed Chris Jones. Yeah. As much as you can read into that, right? But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He was great. And Ra?
Well, and can we give a shout out to my Mizzou boys, my Mizzou combo?
No.
Between Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. Come on. We gotta do it.
Is Willie Gay also from Mizzou? I didn't realize that. I'll give it. You know what? I'll acknowledge it this week because they did beat K-State.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit of love there.
All out.
Fine.
But I'm still giving it to Chris Jones. I think his leadership
Mhm.
was needed. It was missed. Obviously, they've been doing well. They did. I very minimal, like I said, complaints from last week. They did what I expected them to do, but just having
Mhm.
him back, it was a noticeable difference. Like even if he wasn't always in on the sack, it was his pressures that led to some of those plays as well. So it's just like it's good to have him back. It's good to have him back.
Yeah.
Our linebackers, like you said, Nick Bolton and Gabe, both doing what they do. Little 1-2 punch there. I remember when that was like a very weak point for our D at one time during the
Mhm.
Mahomes era. So yeah, these guys have been just a breath of fresh air these last couple seasons, and so yeah, no, I have no complaints. Like you said, Leo Chenal, he's getting a piece of things. Even our boy, speaking of K State,
Felix,
man,
yeah,
what is his name?
he
Felix
Yeah. Say
Onudike,
wait. No. I was
Uzoma.
gonna say you need to say his full name. Don't just be
Yeah,
like Felix. Say his full
I
Onudike.
name.
I have to say
Felix
Felix because I
Onudike
will mess up
Uzoma.
his last name. Yeah,
If I'm saying that wrong, correct me in the comments.
please
Felix
do.
Onudike and Zoma.
Um, works.
I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement, but okay.
Works. No, not from me. It isn't. Because you could say anything you want. I'd probably be like, yeah, that sounds
Like,
about
sure,
right. That sounds
whatever.
right. Yeah, that sounds good. No, yeah, he went 1 for 1 on tackles and assists. He had a half a sack. And he was a part of that forced fumble as well. So, no, huge performance by the rookie there. Dana too. I mean, I feel like every
Yeah.
single member that's a routine part of our defensive line has some kind of stat line that we can all be very happy with, which is fantastic to
Yeah.
see, because last year it felt like we did
Mhm.
lean on Jones and the other interior members quite a bit. But
Right.
Dana and Karloftis stood up this week. But I mean, shoot to just add on to the impressive performance. The one weak aspect I felt last year and in many years is bad tackling by our secondary. Snead had
Mhm.
6 tackles, Reed had 5 tackles, Tranquil had 4 tackles, Watson had 2 tackles. I mean, it's just they're tackling, and it's awesome. It's awesome to
Yes,
see.
Yeah.
yes,
Fundamentals.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're over here propping our defensive players for tackling. Like that's the bar, sometimes.
I mean,
Oh,
I
but
mean,
that's
in
because
this
we've been
league,
Chiefs fans long enough.
All
Come on.
right.
I mean that, and you saw a lot of bad tackling this weekend in a lot of these other games.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, it seems to be a lost art.
Absolutely. All right. Do we want to talk about the Jags themselves and their performance? Their honestly pretty pitiful performance.
No, we gotta touch on that because I think I mean, this team was one of those that we're like, oh, they're up and coming. They're gonna be
Yeah,
a strong contender in the
yeah.
AFC, right? I mean,
I
we
I
really
said that.
put them up there. Yeah.
It's okay. You're calling me out wrong. It's fine.
Well,
Oh,
and
you're welcome.
I mean, I think if you were to ask or even look at the majority of predictions that came through the Chiefs Kingdom or even just the NFL at large of like who are teams that can beat the Chiefs, I think one of the 3 that people would often pick would be Jacksonville. That's like that was a common denominator along with what we play the Bengals again this year, and then I mean, I think a lot of people have said Broncos strangely, but I know Jacksonville was definitely up there as one of those. These are the guys, who can put the Chiefs in the grave, and I
They
had
just
zero
didn't
reason.
play as well as
Yeah, I had zero reason to disagree with them, but like you were saying,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
No,
y'all, I mean, we lost against the Lions in week 1, right? We know that it's any given Sunday. So Trevor Lawrence didn't play as well as Trevor Lawrence was made out to play, and as well as he played in his week 1. So we'll chalk it up to that. But yeah, it was not the team that we thought we'd be facing.
all that being said, though, their division, just kind of looking at the other teams in their division, it's still pretty winnable. So they have a
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to kind of figure some stuff out, and we still might see them in the playoffs, and maybe they'll look different by then. So, yeah, I mean, they're not looking so far like the Jags that we thought they were looking like at the AFC. What was it, the divisional round last year?
Yeah.
Mhm.
but who knows what time will tell. I mean, it's week 2. We seem to be trending up. They seem to be trending down. Can they bounce back? We'll have to see.
Now,
With that division, I feel like they can.
that
They
is
can, like, just 'cause
that is the most winnable division in football, I think. Yeah, it's
yeah,
they'll still have it, no problem.
right.
I think the one elephant in the room we do have to talk about, though, can you guys, and I'll give you, let's say 15 yards either way. Can you guys guess how many total yards and penalties we gave up this weekend?
Oh God,
Oh,
112.
Oh, you're
Wasn't
just
it like
over.
165 or something like that?
No, it wasn't that bad. No, 94 yards. We
94,
gave up.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
We gave up almost as many penalty yards as we had rushing yards in this game.
Sure.
Huh?
And wasn't 65 of those yards
63.
Jawan Taylor?
63 of them.
That's where I got the number.
Yeah.
Was Jawan Taylor. Okay, yeah, that's where I got that number
You
from.
want
Okay.
yellow flag
Yeah.
Taylor. Mm.
Yes.
I mean, he
Is
ended
there
up
an entire
benched.
flag him tonight?
Well, there would have been, but I didn't want to beat on him too much considering how everyone else has. It was just, I mean, Homie got away with murder quite a bit against the Lions, I feel. And I think he was hoping he'd get away with it against the Jaguars. And you know what? Try it, because you did get away with it in week 1. Yeah, he would jump early quite a bit. I don't think there's any arguing. But just like Mitch Schwartz said on Twitter, every tackle does it because you have to in order to beat these defensive ends the NFL has. But, after the first couple of times you get called for it, maybe stop, right? Like, and during week 1, I don't know if either of you saw it, but I'm a huge fan of following Mitch Schwartz during NFL games because he has fantastic input especially when it comes to, the trenches. And one of the things he was talking about was just the fact that, like, as a tackle, you do jump because you need to. You need to get that early step, and then you need to do whatever you can to hold these guys because you're going against guys who are, 100 pounds lighter than you, twice as fast as you, and still just as strong as you. And so you need to do everything you can in order to block these guys. But, you cheat a couple times. If you get caught, you have to stop. And that was one thing he really went on about. And he was like, and the reason why Jawan Taylor's not stopping is because nobody's telling him to. And then people were telling him to against the Jaguars, and he wouldn't. It's just like, dude, we would easily have scored over 20 points, I feel, if Taylor had calmed down after the first couple. But, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It wasn't, and, against his former team, it was almost like, bro, are you working with them still? Did you forget that you're a Chief now? Like, it's good.
Man, yeah, 12 total penalties, 8 of them on offense, 5 of those on Taylor. Defense also had 4. We gave up some knuckleheaded ones that gave them first downs, I feel. But, at the end of the day, the defense still stepped up 9 points, and they did what they had to do.
Right.
I mean, Hung, what was your favorite thing to talk about when it came to the Jags defense in the red zone there, huh?
Oh, no, I think we lost
did
her.
we lose her? Oh, man. But, her big point in our little text chat was all about how...
was that they kept trying to throw in the end zone, and what's his name didn't have any physical facial awareness of where the end zone ended and where out of bounds started, and he kept missing it every single time, and they ran it like 4 times. It's like, y'all need to stop.
There she is.
There she is, yeah.
What a way to come back now.
It was very exhausting.
But yeah, he got the ball about 4 times in the end zone, I feel, and every single time he barely even got 1 foot in, let alone 2.
Just drag the toe at this point. I'm like, I want you to get that touchdown. Just drag that toe.
Just do a little bit better, Ridley. Come on.
Like receiver fundamentals.
Right.
Hello.
She's about to start coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think.
Maybe just my son's team over here, who every time y'all start talking about missed tackles and such, I'm like, seen that since Saturday.
This is one.
All right. I think that pretty much encompasses the game, though. Is any final thoughts on Chiefs Jags?
No, I mean, I came out of it, obviously more. Not that I was in. I don't know how many of us were really in a negative mood. In fact, our poll that I put up last week about it. Here, let me see if I find it real quick. I think most Chiefs fans were disappointed in the season opener, but we weren't like down, like we weren't panicking. Um, and I think this week kind of reinforced that, like we're going to be fine. We're a little bit unrefined right now, so we just gotta a little fine tune it the later we get into the season, especially with
Hmm.
how wide open the AFC is right now. But
Right.
yeah,
Well, and to be fair, I think coming off of that Super Bowl win, everybody was expecting a lot more things from very different.
yeah, a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover for sure,
Uh-huh.
but not one that we can't overcome.
Well, and then, the other points that we can just beat with a dead horse. Lions, one of the top scoring offenses in 2022, and they're obviously a contender this
Sure.
year. I think people are still used to the whole idea that the Lions are terrible, and they're just not anymore. And I think Chiefs fans kind of realized that after week one. Everyone was going in it with that week one hype, like, oh, we just won the Super Bowl. We're playing the Detroit Lions. We're going to cream them. And
Right,
then everyone's like,
right.
oh, wait, they're good. Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah.
I remember that poll. Yeah, it was something like, I think 60-70% were all, not worried, not scared. We lost a
Right.
1-point game against a really good team, and we were missing our third best player on the roster. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
And what we're playing the
Absolutely.
Chicago Bears this coming week, so I think the concern
The
really
Bears.
really kind of keeps going down once you realize, like, oh wait, we just played two of the toughest teams on our schedule, and then we're gonna,
That's the thing.
yeah,
I
Hey,
don't
but
remember the
trap
Chiefs
games,
schedule
trap
being this
games.
trap games.
trap. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, this is not a team who feels like they got it in the bag right now, especially after that first loss. I don't think, but like you look at the schedule, I don't remember the Chiefs' schedule being this quote unquote easy in a while. Like we got the Bears up
Wait,
next.
I need to stop y'all right now. Let's strike this from the record.
What?
We're playing
Back
the
it up.
beep censorship.
There's no way. There's no way you watched the Bears game against the Bucks last week and thought they could be a threat. There's no way.
No.
I'm sorry. There's no way.
No, you're right. We have
We-
we have a soft
We
upcoming
can
schedule.
overlook
Yeah.
them. We're not on the team. We're not on the team. We can. I'm overlooking the goddamn Bears. Okay. Like,
Yeah, see, Hung, that's what
I'm
you have to
overlooking-
remember. We're allowed to overlook them, and then we're allowed to bash the Chiefs next week when it is a trap game and we lose, and say, "Why did you overlook them, guys? Come on!"
Fact.
Like to
Right.
just clarify for the audience listening, the we is just Billy and Raw here. It's not the
Okay.
three of us. I just wanted to
Fair
clarify
enough.
that.
Well,
Okay.
We got them, and then after that we have the Aaron Rodgers little Jets, which they don't. We got the Zach Wilson Jets. I'm not worried about the Jack Wilson Jets either.
Hey, we can't
All
even
right.
have Henny in the Jets. Damn.
No,
I'm
no.
man,
The
missed
Vikings
opportunity.
don't look that great right now. The Vikings don't look good.
They always find a way to
0-2?
stay in it and bring it back a lot closer than where they started. Like they're so slow to start, they find a way to get it close and then still lose.
Yeah, very Viking-esque. Very Viking-esque.
Mhm.
They are 0-2. Yeah, they are currently 0-2. The 0-2 Vikings, the 1-1 Jets, the 0-2 Bears. Who do we got after that? The Chargers, the 0-2 Chargers.
Even after some
who-
great playmaking by the Herberts. So
Yeah.
Before the Chargers, we do got the Broncos though, and I
Broncos.
that one might be something to be cautious about.
he's playing better.
I'm overlooking.
I'm at the point though where it's like it's been almost a decade since we lost to the Broncos. At some point, that streak has to
Been
stop.
glorious.
Wow, no way. Has it really
Been
been that long?
glorious.
In 2025, it'll be a
It's been-
decade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last
We're
time
at 8 years.
They beat us. What, like the iPhone 8 came out or something like that?
Uh-huh.
There's like a whole
Stop it.
graphic on this.
No,
Stop
I'm not
it.
making this up. Yeah.
yeah.
You're
Like,
like, it was a Nokia flip phone?
It was
It might have been.
it was September of 2015 that the first time we beat them as a part of the streak. So yeah, it'll
We
be
gotta keep this going. This
it'll
is
be
an
8 years,
anniversary that I
yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to hold on to
That's
it
a
as long
Monday
as you
night
can.
football game too. Monday night game.
So yeah, no, we're looking at an easy. I mean, what the probably most difficult game upcoming that we have will be the Dolphins in November. So it's entirely possible we go to November undefeated here.
Yeah, and that's Germany.
8:30 a.m. I am so excited.
Kegs and eggs.
Get the football game out of the way, and I can relax the rest of the day. It's going to be awesome.
There you go. And I apologize.
Eggs and eggs. Oh my god.
Game. Yeah.
The Broncos are Thursday. Yeah.
That's Thursday night game. Yeah. So we don't have a Monday night game until November 20th, Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Interesting.
The Kelsey game.
Yep.
The Kelsey Bowl.
The Kelsey Bowl. Here we go. We don't have another noon game for the rest of December 25th.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. All of our slots, except for this, since this last weekend, are all nice spots.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, all eyes on us.
Looking at some of these, though, we might get flexed out of primetime, though, considering some of our opponents. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. The Packers are playing well. Looking at the Sunday night game, it can only be
I guess it can only be Sunday night games, can it? Yeah.
Yeah, it can only be the Sunday night games, and so the next ones we have. I mean, they won't do that till late in the season. Right now, the Packers are playing pretty well. I can see that. I can see them keeping that. That's the December 3rd Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them, I don't see. There's no way they'd flex. They don't flex 325 games, do they?
No, it's that. But the thing to consider is, will they flex one of our 325 games to a Sunday night game, pushing one of our Sunday night games then to noon? So because you can only have so many primetime games in a year. I think it's like 5, and we're at 5. So if they were to flex one of our games later, they'd have to move a different one.
So earlier, fair enough. But that's all I got on. We kind of went on a tangent there, but Chiefs Jags put it to bed. Let's talk about some of these other games that we saw this weekend.
No, before that, we got to talk about the absolute genius that is Brett Veach. I swear to God, I'm in love with this man. He is a god amongst men. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the game, and I could wax poetic for about another hour.
Dude, I think he writes the rules on how to play the game.
It's insane. So for those who don't know, Mahomes did get a new contract. The contract essentially shifts around how and when he'll be getting paid. It changed around some of his incentives. It positioned him to now earn between 2023 and 2026, $210 million guaranteed. I should say $210.6 million, because 600,000. Yeah, I mean that 600,000 is really important. That does make him the highest paid player over a 4-year span. Guaranteed is at 210. There's 218.1 in total incentives. We should also remember that this is an individual who is part owner of the Royals, part owner of Sporting Kansas City, part owner of KC Current. He makes $50 million in endorsements every year and also owns the Whataburger franchise in Kansas City. So I feel really bad for him. He obviously doesn't, make enough money. He really needed this restructuring.
Somebody start him a GoFundMe.
Honestly. But no, the crazy thing is, Veach comes in here, restructures Mahomes' contract to give him this huge amount of money over a 4-year period. He restructured Jones's 1-year contract, all making sure the 2 best players on the Chiefs are getting paid what they're worth, and then also reduced our cap hit by $2.5 million.
You gotta tip the hat to him.
It's insane.
That is impressive.
It's insane.
He's playing franchise mode on Madden and just has some kind of weird cheat code. Up down, square, X right, something like that.
He's playing 4D chess. He's playing 4D chess, and everyone else is playing checkers. It's insane.
He's playing
Yo,
Grand
there's
Theft
an
Auto,
analogy
and it's
here
unlike the
for
cheat codes
everybody.
for yeah,
Right.
unlimited money.
Whether you're into Madden, chess, checkers, there's an analogy for
A
everybody.
Grand
Come to
Theft
the
Auto,
show, share
yeah.
us with your friends and family. We don't discriminate who comes and follows us for the conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now,
Damn right.
there is one element of this restructuring that I think is very important and is not being focused on enough. In no way, shape, or form is this saying that Mahomes is gone after 4 years, but they, as a collective, have agreed to revisit this deal after 2026. So instead of the continuation of the 10 years of the contract, they're essentially shortening he has 8 years remaining on that contract, I think. They're shortening it to 2026 now, and they will come up with a new contract after the 2026 year. This is not guaranteed to happen. This is not like written into the restructuring, anything like that. But the fact that both the team and Mahomes' group came out and announced that they will be revisiting this deal after 2026 guarantees that there will be a new contract after the 2026 season, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens there.
Well, he's going to retire at Chiefs, so restructuring, whatnot, we're good.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. So that's 4 years away. That's 4 more Super Bowl rings. Once you've tied Brady, basically,
32.
I mean, do you just go ahead and retire? Both his knees will still be working. I'd be walking, I think. I just earned $210 million. I got a bunch of Super Bowl rings now. I think I'm good, guys. I'll see you later.
Is there anything that says owners of a team can't play on the roster for that team? Because he could go play baseball for the Royals. I'm sure we'll still need him at that point.
You know what? That might be the one thing to make me watch the Royals. That might be the one thing that actually damn Royals. Yes. Yeah.
Man.
Dion, Bo Jackson, what have you. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Go play for the Royals.
Wouldn't that be something? In the brand new downtown stadium that'll be built by then, too.
Brand new downtown stadium with the Whataburger right in the middle. Just ketchup, like $100 ketchup you can buy.
Ketchup Palace. Man. It's going to be crazy. All right. So that's the Mahomes deal. It's a great move by both parties, I feel, though. It's obviously Mahomes was not after the Burrow contract. I think that moved Mahomes down to like 5th or 6th highest paid, and nobody wanted that for him. So it's good for him to now be the top paid dog, and can't wait to see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Well, and the good thing and the difference between him and Burrow is that he performs.
Yeah. He shows up. Yeah, he shows up. Joe Burrow. Yeah, as we're talking about
not sure
this,
what's happening there.
Week 2 of Bengals suck being the number 1 bullet point on best of the rest here. I mean, okay, so they played a lot better this past weekend than they did against the Browns, but they were also playing the Ravens, who I think are very weak. I don't know about you all, but I'm just not a fan of the Ravens this year. Or, recently. I think they've been overrated quite a bit. Yeah, they've been overrated for a while, ever since Jackson won MVP. He did deserve to win that MVP. The Ravens were very good that year.
They were solid.
Yeah.
That year they were solid. And then ever since then,
unimpressive.
Yeah.
But the Cincy Bengals do lose out 27-24 against the Baltimore Ravens there. I mean, yeah, they're just bad.
Now, I will say they did do this. They did start pretty slow last year. But the difference is Joe is kind of banged up right now, for sure. And, he was kind of able to survive that terrible offensive line last year. I don't know if he could do that 2 years in a row. I think it's catching up to him.
You think they kind of rushed him back a little bit too soon?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
that line is just so terrible. He has no protection.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 year doing that for multiple years in a row, it's bound to catch up.
Yeah.
And it just looks like it has right now.
This is what I don't understand. We got Brett Veach over here in Kansas City playing amazing GM. Who the hell is the GM of the Bengals? And I almost want to start a GoFundMe to get him fired. Like, he is terrible. How do you have this just genuinely amazing quarterback in Joe Burrow with the skill position players around him that the Bengals do and continue to just do nothing with your offensive line? I mean, they lost the Super Bowl because of that. There's no argument there, I don't think. They lost against the Rams in the Super Bowl 100% because of their offensive line. Last year, Joe Burrow dragged that offensive line kicking and screaming all the way to the playoffs where they lost because of their offensive line. And then 2 games in a row because of their offensive line. It's just, man.
Yeah, you make a great point. This is a known issue with them for a while now.
It's not surprising. So somebody who we can compare this group to is the Colts, I think, where like the Colts 2 years ago, Andrew Luck left football early because of how beat up he was with how bad the Colts offensive line have been since Peyton Manning left them, and Saturday was gone and all that kind of stuff. Didn't get addressed then. And then they bring in Carson Wentz, who remained injured pretty much the entire time he was at the Colts because of a terrible offensive line. Matt Ryan comes in and is the most sacked quarterback in the entire league because of a terrible offensive line. Jacoby Brissett's over there barely playing a game healthy because of a terrible offensive line. The Colts finally realized, okay, we need to spend some money. And then they brought in the most expensive offensive line in the league and they were still terrible, but at least they knew they had to try. What the hell are the Bengals doing?
Oh.
How are they not making those choices?
Right. What they should
Pretty
do,
bad, y'all.
the Bengals should hire the State of the Kingdom podcast to come in and be their general manager. I think we could fix it, right? We could do it.
I think that I would be down with that.
Would
For
you
a
be
very,
willing
very
to
low entry rate,
Would
too.
you be willing to move to Cincinnati, Ohio and do it?
Ooh, I don't know.
I guess the paycheck. I'd have to see the paycheck.
I'd have to see the money.
I'm trying to wait to go over there.
No, to be fair, they could probably pay us less than their single GM does, and we'd still split it up amongst the three of us. Very happy, but
half as much. We'd be like, all right, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We'll be. I can be there tomorrow. See you there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, it just blows my mind sometimes with these people. It's crazy. So
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure at this rate they could cut down on the expenses our way and just pay us to do so virtually. I'm down with that.
hey, there we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Just saying,
do
we'll cut a
virtual.
little bit of money in moving expenses and just provide the services virtually.
There we go. So Cincinnati Bengals ownership, if you're watching this, you got 3 individuals who have a mediocre football IQ, I would say, willing to come in and do better than your terrible IQ GM is. Like, my goodness gracious.
Exactly.
We got you.
We got you. Wait, we're all 3 agreed, though, that we're going to throw the games against the Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
100%.
okay. I just want to make sure we're
The
all
loyalty
right. All right, good.
there first.
Good.
So.
Perfect.
What they gonna do? Fire us? Okay.
All
I'll take my
right.
money bag. You can go, yeah.
I'll take my severance.
Yeah.
All right. Other than the Bengals, I think there's a lot of the teams that are at 2-0 for us to talk about. First and foremost is the Mayfield Revolution going on down in Tampa Bay.
Let's relax.
Yeah,
Let's relax. Just
you
beat the Bears, and then before that, who did they play?
the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, that one. Okay, that one was.
That one was a little
but
bit
I
of a
think that was
surprise. Yeah.
more- I think that's more on the Vikings than the Bucks, though.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
The Vikings were still trying to figure out how to play without Dalvin Cook, so you give them the one. But yeah, to beat
But like just that piece though, come on.
Yeah, they got Jamar Chase. They got the
Justin
still got
Jefferson,
you.
yeah.
NFL top 100.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who did I say? Jamar Chase. Sorry, Justin Jefferson. Yes, sorry. Justin Jefferson. Yeah, the number 2 player on the top 100 this year. 99 overall, Madden. All whatever you want. There was a lot of high expectations for this man. I guess that doesn't translate to the quarterback though.
No.
Who I thought was gonna, he's still a vet.
Nothing
One year with
changed
Kirk
that
Cousins.
can directly relate to Kirk Cousins' decline, I think. That we know of, Like, okay, yeah, you lost one of your running backs, but you still got arguably the second or third best tight end in the league right now on your team. You got the best wide receiver in the league on your team right now. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they the Bucks. Okay. I think it's nice to see Baker getting a little bit of a resurgence here. Like, he had with the expectations he had coming in, he hasn't really lived up to them. Had a little bit of a spurt in LA. Still wasn't really it, but so now it's like he's finally starting to look like a little bit more like what people thought he was going to be. I'm not really there yet, but I can see the spark, I guess, that people have for it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we've completely lost Hung at this point. It just sounds like she's talking
Yeah, I
about
don't
from
know what's
across
up.
the parking lot there, just yelling.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm just listening.
Oh,
You
just
guys going
listening.
on and
Okay,
on
so
about the Bucks. I think part of that too is the most recent association of TB12, and I'm still trying to disassociate from that.
oh, your favorite player, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
That guy.
Oh well. But yeah, that's all. The Bucks. I mean, sure, they beat the Bears. They're supposed to beat the Bears, but good
We'll
for
see.
them. I think that division is another one, just like the AFC South. The NFC South is anyone's game right now.
See, you say that, but they're 3 of the 2-0 teams. Now, how much are those?
That's a good point.
How much are those inflated? How much is it? It's week 2. Calm the hell down. How much is it? Yeah.
Their opponents, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you saw that Panthers Saints game. It's like one of them was trying to give the game to the other ones.
Yeah, I blocked that out after I was just really sad. So, I needed
And
Miles
that's just
Sanders
like
to
our
score me
season.
60 points, and he didn't. Sorry.
Well, and, the schedule is always what the schedule is, but it would be like if we were to play, instead of the first 2 opponents that we had, if we would have had this next stretch of our 3 opponents, if we would have played them first, and everyone's like, oh, 3-0, 3-0. And then we go back to weight of schedule and strength of schedule and other factors that, they're not very good teams, then we come into a similar conversation. So we'll let them enjoy their 2-0. And as their schedule and they play a little bit more formidable opponents, then we can come back to it. Are they the real deal or no?
And it's like you said earlier, any given Sunday, right? So you can't really judge a team until about 4 weeks in. I think you could easily say that's when you start to see the contenders, the pretenders. Yeah.
Yep.
That being said, though, the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys, are they living up to the
my
hype?
God.
Are they just, a part of this whole? We don't know because it's too early. Are they,
I don't know, but the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders looked amazing. I just have to add that.
Don't they always? Yeah, they always look pretty good.
They do, but gosh, I just love watching them. I'm sorry, y'all. There was football too.
There was football on.
There's a little bit of football here and there. I mean, it's. I hate so much that I can't believe I'm saying this. I hate so much that Aaron Rodgers got injured because I was, I think an Aaron Rodgers led Jets beats this Dallas Cowboys team. It's Zach Wilson. He can't measure up.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Huh.
But I'm also big on the Jets defense. So, and maybe wrongfully so. I mean, Dallas did put 30 up on them, but I think the Jets will still end the season as one of the better defenses, and Zach Wilson's just not it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll see what happens. 49ers.
I don't know. I really enjoyed that game.
Oh.
Yeah. I just enjoyed the game. It was a good game to watch.
I did not watch any of it. So I can't even lie. I had to look away. So what game did I end up watching though? Because that was a 3:25 time slot, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was watching. Oh well.
I watched all 8 of the noon games.
We know.
You're crazy.
You showed us.
You are crazy.
Yeah.
You showed us.
Who needs red zone?
Who needs red zone? Well, so then since you saw some of it, the 49ers, are they living up to the hype? I mean, what they kind of went towards the wire with the Rams here, but you know, the-
Yeah, I think so. And you know what I'll be interested in? I mean, the 49ers, I would say even with that, they still look good. And I would be interested to see what the Rams do next week because I believe aren't they playing the Eagles next week?
I
Ooh,
will
that'll be a
let
good
you know in
one.
just a second. I did
They're
try to
playing the
look up
Bengals. I'm sorry, they are playing the Bengals.
Bengals,
So the Rams put up 30 on the Seahawks in week 1, right?
and
And
then
then they went toe
23.
to toe with the Niners, yeah, on week 2. So
And it
I
should be
mean,
noted they're
maybe
doing that without Cup too.
yes, yes. But see, yeah, so they could be having a little bit of resurgence right now. I actually think we might be seeing something with them too. So they're a 2-0. Unlike the other kind of 2-0s where it's kind of the competition, I'm kind of like, The Rams competition, like the Seahawks, we're supposed to be pretty solid, right? Like kind of middle of the road. But the 49ers are I think the consensus is that they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams battled them. So
I think every power
I
ranking right now has the 49ers as the number 1 team in the league. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Did they
So
really?
I know
Yep.
a lot of them do. A lot of them
Huh.
do. Yeah, the 49ers and the Cowboys. I know there's a lot of talk about those two teams right now. Now I would say I know that the Bengals are 0-2, but I mean, we've still the last few years they've been one of the top teams in the league. Uh, we'll see what this Monday night game looks like. It's another doubleheader, right? So it's Rams, Bengals, and I think it's Bucks, Eagles, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, how the Bengals look, but if the Rams if I mean, there's a chance they beat them, but if it's like a very convincing win, even though the Bengals have been struggling, I'm gonna put the Rams in that conversation too.
Man,
As one of the top teams in the NFC East, or in
my,
the NFC.
Miles Garrett was dancing on that Bengals offensive line. You think Aaron Donald isn't going to go in there and just,
That's a great point, man.
bury Joe Burrow?
Tear him to shreds.
It's
That's a good point.
no, I'm definitely excited to watch that game if for no other reason than I cannot wait to see what Aaron Donald does to that offensive line because it's going to be disgusting and it should not be nationally televised, but it will be, and I cannot wait.
Yep.
Get ready.
Hey, man. Yeah, I think the Rams might be coming. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah. No, I mean, my shocking prediction of the year was that the 49ers wouldn't even win their division, and I think the Rams. I thought at first it would probably be the Seahawks that would surprise them, but right now I'm starting to lean a little more on the Rams. I think they have the better possibility, but I mean, I think we all know it's just not going to be the Arizona Cardinals. So
no.
Oh God, no, definitely not. No. Is Kyler back? He's still not back, right?
No, Dobbs was on. Actually, Dobbs was doing a job. He was doing everything he could to try to win that game against the Giants, and the rest of the team let him know. I think he ended up with like 1 passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns. It was a shootout because of bad defense, not because of good offense. 100%.
Right. Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Of the other 2-0 teams, so we know the 49ers and Cowboys aren't a surprise. The NFC South teams, we all say, are 2-0 because of the competition. Are any of the other 2-0 teams surprises for you guys?
Who else is on that list? Let me see.
We got the Miami Dolphins, the Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington Commanders.
No, I would say
wait a minute. Are we on the 2-0 or 0-2? Hold on.
This is the 2-0.
It's 2-0s.
Yeah. But you said the Commanders. Is that for real?
Yeah, they're 2. I mean, they've been ugly wins, but they have won.
And they played the Cardinals and they played the Broncos and they beat the Broncos. I think. Yeah, they beat the Broncos 35-33 and then it's Cardinals. So hey.
Yeah.
Is it the enemy effect?
My only thing about those, though, I would say that's another one where I got to see more because they barely beat the Cardinals, they barely beat the Broncos. Those are 2 teams that not a lot of people are high on. So I don't know.
I'm not sold on the enemy factor.
Yeah, Yeah,
Mhm.
same. I'm not really sold on it yet either. I'm rooting on it. I'm rooting on him, and you also kind of see kind of what his absence has seemingly done to our offense, right? In Kansas
Mhm.
City. But I don't know. I gotta see more. I'm not really too convinced on that. The Eagles, not surprised by. Um,
No.
Even though I would say they are kind of struggling too. They look like they're having a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. And no, the Dolphins I thought was going to be good this year. I thought they would be another contender in the AFC East. I thought the AFC East was going to be a battle for the Bills because of the Dolphins and the Jets. And so far, the Dolphins
Definitely
are
has not been that
proving
way.
to be
It's
that
all
threat.
Dolphins.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, and I mean, shoot, even the Patriots, like, yeah,
Patriots.
we're talking about how the NFC South is probably the most open, if not the AFC South. But you know, you want to talk about the toughest division to win? I think it's the AFC East for sure.
Yeah, 100%. The Patriots are 0-2, but it was a very close 0-2. You know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
between both of their games. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anytime that you take the current Eagles to distance, just like they did last week on Sunday night, and then yeah, this week, I mean 24-17 against the Dolphins, who should be, you know, probably blowing them out the water a little bit more. I
Yeah,
think New England's got a chance.
for sure.
Certainly Mac Jones is playing a lot better than I think any of us predicted he would, and I think the
Sure.
rest of anyone would agree. You know, Mac Jones has been playing well. Hunter Henry's showing up pretty well. I mean, and of course their defense is just a typical Bill Belichick defense that just spanks
Oh,
Mac,
people left,
totally.
right, and center. So,
Mac
um,
Jones is playing like a quarterback you can make a run with. Like you don't gotta have sometimes you don't have to have the best quarterback. You just gotta have a guy that doesn't get in the way.
yeah, and
Right.
that's exactly
And
it.
great coaching. And they've
Right.
And
got
great
it.
coaching.
They got
Yeah,
So there you go.
Although to run contrary to you though, Ra, I think the Dolphins are surprising me a little bit being at 2-0. If for no
okay.
other reason than I had no idea how Tua would be playing following the absolute disaster that was last year for him. I
For
mean,
sure.
I've personally suffered from more than a few concussions. I'm sure CTE is going to be on my, you know, medical docket at some point in time, and so I know
You
how
know.
it feels, and
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I'll just slide that one in there.
How did
And yeah,
look?
I
How did this happen?
no, and so knowing like, you know, how that feels, like I just cannot imagine, you know, like being an NFL starter, and I've been watching Tua because I'm really curious to see how he does, and I mean, you know, it's like the commentators made a really good comment about the fact that he's been taking judo lessons to learn how to fall better, and I'm just like, dude,
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
should
Isn't that crazy?
yeah, shouldn't every player probably be doing this, considering some of the injuries we've been seeing so far this year? You
sounds
know,
like it.
yeah, you know, it's like, and it seems to be working. You know, he's keeping his head about him. I don't feel like he's been sluggish or miss a beat. Shootout with the Chargers is because they were two good offenses. And then, yeah, I mean, anytime you can beat Bill Belichick feels good because he's about, I
Absolutely,
think, 6 wins away from all-time win record. So,
absolutely.
He deserves it. You
you
know
know,
what I
he
mean?
does.
Like, as
He's the
much as I
best coach
dislike
ever.
it,
Yeah.
I dislike his team and everything else. You cannot discredit what he has done.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like that hoodie smells like just moldy cheese.
Imagine.
Ugh,
Oh
God.
man.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
but when you work for the Kraft family, moldy cheese is what you
Yeah,
got
right.
to go for, I think.
Sure.
fair,
And I love
fair
cheese,
enough.
but that does not seem appetizing to me whatsoever. Oh,
Nah,
Blue cheese is some of my favorite, though. Love blue cheese.
nah.
you like the
Wait.
smelliest of them. My God.
Oh, the stinkier the better. Yeah. All right, so let's
All
move on
right,
from
all
this line
right.
of
Wait, what
thought,
are we talking
huh?
about? Are we talking about cheese? Oh my God.
um,
All right.
I think the biggest news from this week, though, and Ra, I know you sent out a tweet about it after the injury did happen, but Nick Chubbs is officially out for the season, and
Yeah,
there is
Dot,
talk
dot,
it's a
dot,
career ender.
dot,
Nick
dot.
Chubb, but
Exactly.
really just, I mean, obviously his was the most significant, but I mean, it's been a week for injuries so far.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah, and it's
couple.
only
Definitely been a
week
week.
2.
Right.
Yeah,
And he is not a stranger to knee injuries that take him out. I
that
mean,
very same knee.
Mm-hmm.
that very same knee back in 2015.
Well, and
Awful.
I think the medical report
He
came
tore
back today
everything.
that yeah, there's nothing connected in his leg right now. That's
No.
just insane.
How there was anything left for him to hang on to when he was down on the ground there to ooh, I just
Yeah.
Prayers up. That's all. It's just awful, and running backs do not make enough guaranteed money to suffer these types of season-ending, possibly
Well,
career-ending
it's
injuries.
exactly because they suffer these injuries. They don't get paid guaranteed money like that, which
And it's
is just a
awful.
freaking crime. Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
I mean, but do the Browns bounce back, right? What did they win? No, they didn't win this week, right? I'm looking for their
They
score.
lost.
Yeah, they lost to
by
the
a couple points. It was a very tight game.
That's one of those things where if Chubbs was healthy the rest of the game, they probably win it, right? So, Kareem
But
Hunt
hey, props.
sorry.
Jerome Ford did a great job. I'm sorry to jump
No,
in
you're
there, but
fine.
he did a great job, and he was just like half a football short of that touchdown in the end zone on that great run. So
yeah, and he has been named the presumptive starter for the time being. Kareem Hunt has already visited. I think Kareem Hunt lives about 2 blocks away from the stadium still. So, of course
he came running and
yeah, he was meeting, Coach at the door. He was ready, right? Yeah.
Sit by that phone in full pad.
Right. Which I think if Cleveland doesn't sign Kareem Hunt, it's just silly. There's going to be something, because I don't feel like they had a rough breakup by any means, right? It was just a classic, hey, your contract's out, we're not going to extend you, see you later kind of thing.
Right.
So there's no bad blood between them. They now have an RB1 position open. That's what Hunt's been waiting for. That's why he hasn't signed with a team yet. So,
God, I have a really great line, but it's kind of slightly inappropriate.
Do it.
Go ahead.
He didn't kick anybody on his way out. So.
Wow.
I love it.
Actually, did not realize that's where you were going to go.
I love it.
I'm just practicing my humor. Because remember, my boys don't think
forgot.
I'm funny, but I think I'm slightly funny. So,
I think it works.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, if he's out there in a free agent in your fantasy leagues, pick up Kareem Hunt now because he will be.
Pick him up now.
He will be in Browns gear this coming weekend, probably. I mean,
I'm putting him up for trade. I have him.
I mean, what other choices do they have?
Wait,
Shady McCoy for the rest of the season? My God.
Do you have him in our league, Raw? Or did
I don't know if I have him in our league. I think our league is where I took a hit too. By the way, I have because I'm in like 6 leagues. I can't keep up with who's on what team.
I don't get how you do it.
I don't either.
I know Scott was gunning for him in our league. Because he was telling me about it. So if you happen to have him, that's some good trade bait right there, man.
Oh, there we go. No, I do not. I have Chuba Hubbard though.
Hey, there, little Chuba.
Yeah,
best name in football right now.
Yes.
All right.
Well, look at that. Jerome Ford is trending up. Imagine that.
I think I put in a claim, and I think I'm number 1 on the waiver wire, baby. My team sucks.
Yeah, I'm at one of the guys that I know for a fact did auto draft is 2-0 right now.
Right. I know in one of my leagues, or the only other league, I am number 1 on the waiver. I'm number 2 on the waiver order. Who's number 1? Oh no! All right. Well, yeah. I know he did this on purpose because it's to slight me, but the only team worse than ban kickers from football, my team, is kickers are essential in State of the Kingdom. So
yeah, buddy,
that's a budding rivalry right there. You know?
And I just beat them.
Oh man,
Ethan, suck it.
All right. Well, hey, that's kind of our fantasy update. Well, Hung, where are you at? And in the standings.
Well,
hold on.
In our State of the Kingdom League, I believe I am 0-2.
You're 1-1 actually. You're 1-1.
Yeah, you're 1-1.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Hold on, guys. Other league, I'm 0-2 in case anybody was interested. 1-1 here, 0-2 in my other one, and 1-1 in my third one. So.
Oh, wait a second. I think you played Hayden this week, and she lost. Yeah. Hey, here, hold on. Where is it? Week 2. Because she had Pittsburgh's tight end, and she just needed like a point from him, I think, in order to beat you. Oh no. Okay, no, you lost. Or is this week 2? No. Okay, that's never mind. Never mind. Yeah, you're.
I think I played my.
You played
I played
your
my brother.
brother. Yeah, and he kind of whooped you.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I played my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. How funny is that? All right, cool. Anything else from week 2 or anything you're looking forward to in week 3 other than the Chiefs putting a whooping on the Bears?
That I'm
Yep.
very much looking forward to that. Looking forward to us
Yeah.
continuing to grow and trend upwards, even though we're playing a team that is not faring as well.
I'm overlooking them. Nice little scrimmage
Mhm.
for us. That's what that will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we
Can't
need.
wait.
That's what we need.
Yep. Yep. I had some Portillo's recently. Not impressed. Yep. So yeah, Chicago. That's all I got to say about that.
It's just, I mean, who wants deep dish pizza? It's just disgusting. Who even?
It's a lot of sauce.
It's
It's all
just,
sauce.
it's a pie. It's not even a pizza.
Same
Come on,
thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
man. Oh gosh, other games in week 3. Yeah, I'm looking at this
I
list.
am
I'm not
excited for this next lineup of Monday night. So I really want this doubleheader Monday night thing to be a thing. Like
Yes.
for real, I would take that for real
Don't-
over Thursday night games.
dump the Thursday
they
nights.
gotta
Make
be-
it, yeah.
Yeah, but they got to be good games, and I think these upcoming matchups will be a little bit more intriguing than the ones we just got last night. So I'm looking forward to those. Who's the Sunday night game?
Sunday night game is Raiders Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, so I pulled up the NFL website and they list like, the lowest ticket prices, to inspire people to buy. Chiefs are second highest at 176 as the lowest tickets currently available at GEH Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Can you guys guess
How
what
much?
$176 for a seat
For nosebleeds.
for nosebleeds?
Wow.
Well, and plus the
Yeah.
extra $70 charge for parking.
Right.
Um,
And parking.
So we're the second. Can you guess how expensive the highest low ticket is and how expensive the cheapest low ticket is? And can you guess the games associated with it? So here, I will pull up a
Well,
screenshot
say-
real quick.
I'm gonna say if them Rams are playing at SoFi, I'm gonna say that's the highest low price ticket.
All right, hold on one second. I'm pasting this in on our
For a Monday night game, that's my guess.
They are not. They are very cheap, or they're playing in Cincinnati, but it is still cheap.
Oh,
It's only
okay.
$89 for a
That is
primetime Monday night
fine.
game.
Monday
I
night
will
game,
tell
yeah.
you. I will tell you both are on Sunday, so it's not the Thursday night games. It's not the Monday night games. But
interesting. Is
yeah.
it a
Okay.
Bengals
Bengals play
Chiefs
Monday night.
game?
No, this is the
That's
cheapest
cheap.
this coming week. This coming week.
Oh, this coming week. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll say I guess the Sunday night game. I'm probably maybe it's that Raiders Steelers one.
Most expensive, lowest cost ticket is the Raiders game, $377.
With the Vegas,
No
right?
way.
To me, that says it's a sold out game, and this is just premium seating is the only thing available, probably.
No, it's Vegas.
It's
what it is.
Vegas.
That's what you're.
Exactly.
It's
It's the
Vegas.
Vegas effect.
It's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
it's not because they're good.
It's I mean, I will say that's an indoor stadium with a grass field, so I want all these turf fields out there that are causing a bunch of injuries to address their issues, figure it
Sure.
out. Turf is inexcusable when you're an NFL team. All right, so that is the most expensive. What's the cheapest?
Most expensive. What's the cheapest of the games coming up? I'm trying to find the games
It's on the
Is it
stream.
a-
Yeah, I have it up on the stream right now. If you have that.
on the stream. Yes.
I don't have it, but is it a Browns game?
Browns are hosting. They are cheap. They're the second cheapest, but they're not the cheapest. They're $34. Tickets as low as $34
Oh my
for
God.
the
Really?
Tennessee
These
Titans.
games cost $36?
Yeah, are you kidding me? If I'm living in Cleveland, I'm going to this game. $34. Like, I don't care where I'm
Wow.
sitting.
There's one cheaper than that.
There's one cheaper than that, and it's exactly who you think it is when you see who's hosting.
Well, my only guess now would be the Jets, and I feel like I'm wrong.
You are wrong. It is
Washington.
No, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. $26.
Okay, yeah, against Houston. I guess that, yeah.
$26. I'd be going to every game. I don't
Not,
care who's
Yeah,
playing. I
this
don't
is
care
unheard of
where I
to me.
sit. $26 for an
This
NFL
is
game. Oh my
unheard of.
god.
This is unheard of.
I'm pulling up flights to Jacksonville, Florida for this weekend. I'm
Right?
curious to see
No
how
wonder
much.
my girlfriend. I wonder. No, when we played them this last weekend, I wonder how much tickets were. What the difference was
Wait,
for this last weekend to
did you
another
we're
see
game.
how much red was in that stadium? And did you see
Oh,
how many
totally.
empty seats there were?
Yep. My girlfriend, who's a Jags fan, lives there. Got she's a nurse, and a patient of
Poor
hers
thing.
gave her
Oh, Lord.
amazing
Gave her the tickets. Jeez. It is about
And she was so
$400 round
excited.
trip right now to Jacksonville. So I will
Yeah,
not be
right.
attending the game there this weekend.
No, unless you've got points or something and a place to crash, that $26 is quickly going to become $500 minimum.
And still cheaper than going to Arrowhead, I'm sure. Man.
But it is. It's so crazy, you know, what winning drives those prices so far up. I mean, you think
Absolutely.
about that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's painful. It's heartbreaking. It takes it out of reach for the average fan.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've gone a little longer than normal. I think we're kind of hitting the end here. Is there any final parting thoughts?
I'll also just say that the Kansas Jayhawks are 3-0. So just to go into college football a little bit, you talk about games we're excited for this weekend. Kansas playing BYU, Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Rock Chalk.
Colorado plays what? Oregon, right? Don't they play Oregon this weekend?
Yeah. And after being taken the duration with Colorado State.
Can we really real quick talk? Did you guys watch that game?
I had a $1 bet on Colorado State, and I really should have cashed
I did
out
not
when it
get
was
to.
$8.
Insane.
Derek
The
had a
whole
game
crazy.
Saturday night, so I didn't get to watch it. But
Insane.
wasn't it like a concert? I
It
mean,
was like
they
Lil
like
Wayne
walked
came
out. Yeah,
introduced the team. Like The Rock was there. Like this was like
What?
a circus.
I think one of the announcers said like the Colorado sideline looks like the BET Awards, and he wasn't wrong.
did.
Like, I mean,
No.
it was like, dang man, the
Rappers
talent.
there. I was like, listen, man, I no disrespect to anybody, but this is the blackest Boulder's ever been. Boulder, Colorado. Come on now.
So true.
Let's go. Come on.
Raw, I have thought that a few times.
Yeah.
Not even lying. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes, and it was actually a solid game. It was good. I was expecting a
good.
blowout, but it was actually really close.
State
throughout,
blew it,
went
dude.
into overtime.
State blew it.
Yeah, State blew it.
They
They
had
blew
it.
But so I will be outside of the NFL. I will be keyed in on Colorado once again this weekend. I'm on the
I
Dion
think
hype train.
everybody will be.
Yeah, at least until they join the Big 12 next year.
Jeez.
Hey now.
So let's get into
Same.
another conference reshuffle. I mean,
Well, hold on, because
They are.
Rob
they are,
failed
yeah.
to mention it. And for anybody who's interested, Mizzou will be playing Memphis on Saturday, y'all.
Who?
We're not interested in
Mizzou.
Who?
that. Are they ranked?
Are you gonna bleep this out? Are they ranked?
Mizzou won.
Both are 3-0
Mizzou won
teams.
with a
Thank you very
kicker.
much.
Like, do you think I'm thrilled in any way, shape,
I
or
know.
form?
I was gonna rub that in next to you too, for you, so that you understood that 61-yard
Exactly.
game-winning field goal. There you go.
I
There we
mean,
go.
props to them. Hey, you beat K-State, so I'm happy. All
Lakers
right,
lives
I
matter.
will own it. No, they don't.
More of the story is a lot of football, NFL, and otherwise this weekend that we are excited for.
Yes.
So let's do some quick score predictions for this Bears Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
not
guess
gonna
we
be
should do
super
that.
Oh,
disrespectful.
God.
I'm gonna say 28 to. I'm gonna say 28 to 17.
Wow.
Chiefs.
All right, 28-17.
I'm gonna
Chiefs.
stick with my 30s. I'm gonna go 39-7 Chiefs.
39-7. Yeah, I'm going to be disrespectful. I'm going to say 46. Let's call it 12.
Ooh.
46-12. See what
40
happens.
burger. Okay.
Yeah, it worked out
Okay.
really well when I predicted that against the Jags, so I'm really hoping it works out well against the Bears here.
Okay.
All right. Well, people, another show in the books. Another week of games in the books, and yeah, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna start with letting them know where to find the show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, State of the Kingdom. You can find us on YouTube, State of the Kingdom. Be sure to like and subscribe. It does help us out. You can find our socials on Twitter and Instagram at SOT Kingdom KC. So check us out there. Check us out on Twitter. Maybe we'll start TikTok soon. I feel like for that we got to get on video though. So we'll see. We'll see.
You go
But
first.
but yeah. As far as myself, you can find me at the Almighty Ra on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yep. So that's where I am. Come hang out. It's not always football there, but it's always a good time.
There's a lot of
So
inspiration for workouts, y'all. He does
yeah,
online
absolutely.
coaching
It's
too.
yoked.
Come hit me
Absolutely.
up. Let's get big. All right, Billy, where you at?
Yeah.
Unlike the other two lovely co-hosts here, I'm only on Twitter. That's the only place you can find me, and then Twitch as well at Chef Doubles at both of those. Yeah, just try to stream a few times a week playing video games. I'm always happy to talk any sport on the stream too, so feel free to visit there. I will not shut up about soccer until the soccer season ends here in the next, American soccer I should specify, because of course my Spurs are killing it in the EPL this year, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, we'll talk about it, all kinds of stuff over there. Hung, how about you?
All right, y'all. Unlike Billy, but like Raw, you can find me pretty much on every platform that exists under the moon there by my first and last name, Hong Forrest, HUONGFORREST. Come along for the football fanatics, stay for the journey, the inspiration, and the mom life. And y'all, I have to interrupt. It's my favorite part of football practice where little, I call them bobbleheads, they do their runs through the big boys practice field. So cute.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Perfect. Love it.
All right.
And that's what we will end on. Bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all next week. Go Chiefs. Outro music.
Go Chiefs.
Outro. Yeah, do you have some outro? Yeah, Hung, go for it.
Just keeping in tune with Rawls from earlier.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
All right, y'all.
Till then, till next week, and go Chiefs.